Hello everyone and welcome back to another reset vlog. This is going to be our second last reset of the year. I cannot believe we are getting very close to December and the end of the year now. I do one of these reset vlogs every month where we're kind of just resetting my life, my house, and also my book stuff. So we're going to spend the next couple of days together doing some bookish things and also resetting and prepping for Christmas, for the end of the year, basically getting everything organized because right now everything's a little bit chaotic. So there's a lot of things that I need to do to reset to begin with, but first I need to have an everything shower, I need to wash my hair, and we're going to start the reset vlog with that, which we do quite often. I need to physically reset as well to be able to mentally and reset my space and all of that. So I want to take a minute to thank today's sponsor of this video, which is none other than Kitsch. I love Kitsch. I've been using Kitsch for ages now. You're probably very familiar with them because I talk about them all the time, and I've been using their products for over a year. So Kitsch is my favorite accessories brand. They make so many different hair products that I love and use all the time every week, from my heatless hair curlers to my claw clip to their shampoo and conditioning bars. I've been using their rice water protein shampoo and conditioning bars for over a year now. They're solid shampoo and conditioning bars that are great for your hair but also great for the environment because they reduce plastic waste. They come in these little bars and one bar equals 2 bottles of shampoo or conditioner, and they do so many different shampoo and conditioning bars to suit you with your specific hair needs. So like I said, I've been using the rice water protein ones specifically because they help in the regeneration of hair and aid growth. The protein helps to strengthen my hair, which reduces breakage but also improves the overall texture of it. And the biggest difference that I noticed was it helped rebalance my overly moisturized hair. And the bars are free of ingredients like phthalates, sulfates, parabens, and silicons. Kitsch ships in the US and also internationally to over 90 countries. And if you want to check out Kitsch today, you can follow my link in the description or click the QR code that's on screen right now to get 25% off your order, which will auto apply at checkout. And a massive thank you to Kitsch for sponsoring this video and continuing to work with me. So I've had my shower, I'm comfy in my PJs right now, I'm letting my hair air dry, and we are going to start the first part of this reset, well technically the second part because we started off with an everything shower, but the second part is we're going to do the book journal and update that. This is going to be the second last book journal update because the next reset vlog will be our end of year / new year reset, and that means it will be a full 12 months of doing this book journal. I can't believe that. Wow. Alright, so I am probably going to put my current read on as an audiobook with some of my Spotify hours because I've obviously been physically reading that, but I have some hours on my Spotify where I can just listen to like a couple chapters while I do this. But I went and printed off some of the book stuff, but the printer was printing a little bit weird. I think it might be running low in one of the colours of ink because yeah, it's just looking a little weird. But anyways, we have our September and our October reads. I don't know what I'm going to do for my November spread, so we have that to do. What else have we got to do in the book journal? There's some things that I'll need to print out next month, like my quarterly favorites and, you know, just updating some of the other stuff. So this has been honestly really fun to do, but we have a lot of book journal updating to do, so I'll probably just, like I said, put the audiobook on, put my headphones on, get into the zone, do some book journaling, and then I will show you guys an updated flip through of the book journal to date. We're kind of doing this reset vlog a little bit differently to the others because usually I'll do my resets over a day or two, but I'm kind of doing this one over multiple days, and we're starting with my book journal, which is one of the things we usually end it with, so kind of like changing that. But I have Laura coming to stay with me tomorrow for a night. She's coming up because there is a Fallen Stars event with Amani Ariu at Book Lovers Bookstore in Edinburgh, and I'm going to be chairing that. So it's honestly probably going to be one of the last events that I chair for a while because I think I've decided that public speaking, I'm so introverted and socially anxious, and it is so fun, and I'm so incredibly lucky to have these opportunities to talk to authors and interview and do things with them, but speaking in front of many people, very scary. I think I do better behind a screen, but they always go great. They're always so much fun, and Amani is so fun to talk to, and it's just going to be so easy. So I've also printed out some of my questions that I'm going to ask her tomorrow for that. But Laura's coming up for the day and the night. She's only staying for one night. It's going to be very quick, like kind of how I actually stayed at hers 2-3 weeks ago for book club for one night, and it just flies by, it goes so quick. But we need to transform my office into the guest room, so my desk and everything gets moved back and the couch turns into a pull-out bed, so I need to make that and prep that for her tomorrow morning, so when she comes over we have that all set up. I also kind of need to sort my bookshelf because, like you guys will know, I've started putting books in storage for when I move next year because I've run out of space on my shelves. And wherever I'm moving to, a non-negotiable is more space where I can have bookshelves. But I think kind of playing with the idea of getting more bookshelves. I think we're going to keep the white ones, but I think my library room will maybe have a different colour. I'm not sure. I think I also want to get light oak ones, but I'm not sure where I'm going to put which ones where. But I think we might have some books in our future living room or other spaces of the house, not just in the book room, but also in the book room. I read too many books. It's just going to continue to grow. I don't know how to handle that, so I may have to just start reading way more books on my Kindle and less reads physically. But I already tried to do that. I already tried to keep only books that I love. So I don't know guys, but I have 2 piles of books on my floor that I can kind of take you through, show you what I've got, a little mini book haul. But I need to find space of where to put them, and I have started double stacking my bookshelves, so behind some of the books there are other books. What can I say? So anyways, I'm gonna put my headphones on and we're gonna just do a little bit of book journaling. Hello everyone. I have guests here in my house. Laura's with me.
Mouth kiss is lovely.
She came up for the Amani event last night, and she took some clips for me because I was speaking and sharing that. And you came in the afternoon and you're heading off now in the morning.
I am.
So it's been very quick. We've not vlogged, we've not done anything, we've just yapped and hung out, but I wanted to show you guys that I was with Laura. We're gonna get some breakfast and then she's gonna leave. So you're gonna say goodbye to her straight away.
Hi and bye. Oh!
And Cooper's here as well, of course. Cooper loves Laura.
Oh! Oh! Yes, I know.
So I'm obviously at home now. Laura has left and the resetting will continue. So I now need to take apart this bed and strip the bedding, put all the washing in the washing machine so I can do the laundry. Tomorrow is Saturday and I have like a whole day at home to get all of the house bits and some organization and stuff done. So that's the plan, but right now I need to use my office space and do some things in here and go through book stuff, and I can update you with my bookshelves and current books, but need to clear this up. So I am just going to lock in and get this room moved back, because basically the bed needs to be stripped, put back into a couch, and then everything in my room has to move back over to where it was. Hello everyone, happy Saturday. It's Saturday now. Today is the day that this video is going to be going up. This has been a little bit of a chaotic week for me. I feel like compared to other reset vlogs and videos I've done, this one has kind of been all over the place, and that is simply just because it has been a very busy week, and this is also the last video that I'm posting before Vlogmas starts. So this is the final video of November, and I am doing Vlogmas or Bookmas. I don't know what to call it because it's kind of a mix of both. Like, I am vlogging some days and I'm also doing book content, book tags and videos that you do during Bookmas, so it's like the two of them together. So it's a big Vlogmas slash Bookmas festive fun essentially is coming. But next week is going to be so busy. The 1st of December starting on a Monday. That's my laundry. I need to go put more on and swap that over. But the 1st of December starting on a Monday feels right, and it just scratches a part of my brain. I really enjoy that. So there's a lot I need to get done for Monday because Monday is busy. I'm very excited for everything that's to come, but it is going to kind of just like start and then we're going to be going with it. So I'm trying to fit in all my last minute like prep and organization and planning and resetting so I don't have to do it next week. We're starting the new month strong. We're going into Vlogmas like prepared and ready, where everything around the house kind of has been done and sorted. So I've spent this week, usually sometimes honestly my resets look so different, as you can probably tell from these videos, but when it comes to cleaning the house, I usually have things that I will clean every day, and then bigger, deeper cleans every week, and then also monthly seasonal cleans and organization and switching things out for the season. So this week I've kind of had to do my whole week's clean kind of like staggered and scattered through the week because it's just been so busy. I obviously had Laura, he kind of had an event, and I have had just like a lot of behind the scenes work stuff to sort, and I also was sick last week, so it's kind of just like here, there and everywhere all over the shop. But I feel like a lot of us, that kind of just happens at this time of year. It is the busiest time of year for so many of us with the holidays and Christmas and yeah, just end of year stuff. It always starts to get a little bit manic, so I've had to kind of slowly do little bits and pieces here, there when I can, because I don't have full days to just stay home and clean and organize and reset. So it's taken me the week to get here, but we're pretty much done. I'm gonna vacuum. I need to hoover the house. As you heard, I've been putting on laundry. I'm washing all of the bedding, obviously from when Laura stayed. Cammy this morning got up and swapped our bedding. He put fresh Christmas bedding on our bed for me, which, oh, that was so helpful. It saved me doing it, so you didn't get to see me putting it on because he did it for me, but very much needed that. I got up and I walked on my walking path this morning. I've been trying to challenge myself to do 30 days of walking for 30 minutes on a walking pad. I've spoken about it in a couple of different videos and TikToks, and I'm losing track of what I have said in where to who, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm walking for 30 minutes for 30 days on my walking pad, and I'm also reading at the same time while I do that, so kind of killing two birds with one stone, feeling like productive, having some dedicated time where I can read for at least 30 minutes a day, and if that's the only reading I get done in that day, that's fine. At least I've read. But right now we are on day 13. I walked for 30 minutes this morning and I read 84 pages. We've walked for 6.5 hours total so far. That's cool. And I've read 846 pages while doing that, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of just trying to build some better habits and also force myself to get up and do some walking even if I don't do anything else. If it's a day that I have off from Pilates or it's a busy work from home day, I'm finding if I can make myself do that first thing in the morning before I have to go or do anything, wake up a little bit earlier and get that done. It's just a great way for me to start the day and turn it into more of a habit. So I've been doing that. So we did that this morning. Anything else that's on my to-do list is going to get done today. So like I said, laundry, vacuuming. I did a deep clean of the shower when I had my everything shower. Kind of like we're on top of all of the rooms and spaces. I think I'm just going to get some things out of my underbed storage. I think I've got some like Christmas and festive winter things under there, so might pull a couple of the storage bags I have out from there and go through them, see if I can put them into my wardrobe or use them, or if any of the clothes or things that I have under there that I've not thought about or not worn, look at donating them. And that's kind of where we're up to so far today. I still haven't showed you my book journal, so I will give you a little tour of that and run through that. I haven't actually showed you my book journal, so I will show you what I did while we updated that earlier in the week. And I always forget to print off some things. I don't have a printer at my house here, so I can't just print the things that I have missed very easily, but we'll start at the very start of the book journal. My book journal. We have the TBR So the physical TBR, we obviously ticked off some new books and then added any new additions that we have. 25 books for 2025. These are the books that I chose last year during Vlogmas of what books that I wanted to pick up and prioritize this year. And we have read 13 of them, I think. I've said it a few times, like I feel like I've really found my personal reading taste and genres and preferences, and a lot of these I probably wouldn't pick up and read again, but it'd be great if we could tick off maybe another one. Then I have all the book series I'm in the middle of, so all the book series that I'd started last year and I hadn't finished, or I'd started this year, but book series that had more than one book out. So if it was just like the first book in a series and I wouldn't be able to read the rest of the books in the series in this year, then I wouldn't put them down. So it's not every single series I'm in the middle of, and I've ticked off a lot of them. I've completed a lot of these, so this has been like super helpful to see, and also see how many new series that I've started this year. Then we've got my Rare page where I got some authors to sign my page when I went to Rare, the book convention in London this year. I have my book club books of the month, and I forgot to put a printout here for our current book, which is Blood Over Brighthaven, and next month I think we're reading Good Spirits. I think that's what's one, so we're reading something a little bit different, more of a fun, fluffier read, because we've read some really difficult, heavy books. We've read The Sword of Kaigan, The Poppy War, Alchemized, and Blood Over Brighthaven. What else have we read? Fairy Shield of Sparrows, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, On Wings of Blood, Fearless, Blood and Steel, Legendborn. My monthly tracker of how many books that I've read each month. January was definitely the most amount of books that I read because I had a week off with like the Christmas break, so we definitely read many of those. My November reads, we've read more books than we've read for the most year. Like we've read over 20, but I don't think it's not going to be hit 25. Then my January books, the books on my TBR and the books I've read, and then I always do these little like book windows. We've got some 2025 book goals, my February spread, February TBR, my reading tracker, again all my little book windows that open up and then tell you my review or my thoughts. Some quotes, I haven't updated this in a while, I should probably do that at the end of the year. My March TBR, I need to print out some things I keep forgetting for this page. My April TBR, my April reads, Q1 favorites. I had 2 favorites in March, so we have 4 books for Q1. My May TBR, the May reads I had. Then we've got a little collage from Rare. I have my June spread, my June TBR. I've pretty much kept it quite like the same formula throughout the year just because it's simple and it works, but I definitely don't have the prettiest book tracker. I was going to put my anticipated releases here, but I forgot to print them out, so we should go back and do that. My July spread, July TBR, and of course we have the July reads next. Next month I want to try and print out some photos from all the author events and talks I've done this year, because that was also again a highlight of the year and an incredible opportunity. I know I said earlier that I have a fear of public speaking, which I do, but I am very glad that I said yes to these things, because I feel like getting asked to talk with an author and ask them questions, moderate or chair an author event is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. If someone came to you and said, hey, would you like to interview your favorite author in a room full of people, you're gonna say yeah, you know? Even if you only do it once, it's an amazing thing, and getting to speak to that author and pick their brain for a little bit of time. And then the audience questions are always, I think, so fantastic. I used to sit in author events and listen in, and I would never ask questions because I was too afraid. I was like, I don't know what to ask them. And whenever someone asks a question, I'm like, how did you think of that? That is so smart and intelligent. I wish I could have thought of that. And going to author events and author talks and listening to authors speak about their books and the way that they write and their story makes me want to go and pick up their work even more. It just makes me love the series even more. So I want to do a little collage to commemorate that. We also have the August TBR and the August reads, Q2 favorites, and then my September spread, September TBR and reads, Q3 favorites. I need to print these off. I just couldn't decide which ones were my top favorites. My October spread, October reads, and then we're up to date with the November spread that I just did. I just did this little collage, TBR and reading tracker, the same as before, and then my November reads. I am missing 1 or 2 books that I need to print out, and as you can see, like, it's not as contrasted. I think there was something wrong with the printer, but that's where we're up to with this. I think if I continue on with a book journal next year, I could just do it in this journal. I'm not sure because we've got pages left. I don't think I need to buy a whole new journal, so we might we might carry on with that, but that's really fun. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have a book journal, if that's something that you do. I think it's very therapeutic. Like there's not really much purpose to it other than to look back on and see my favorite reads and highlights of the year, but also it gives me a couple hours every month to just sit and listen to an audiobook or watch some YouTube videos and just have time to do something, switch my brain off, you know? So I really like it. I like lots of like crafty, scrapbooky things, so that's the book journal so far. I also said that I would update you on the bookshelf, so I did get a physical copy of Dawn of Chaos and Fury, but I don't know if you can see, it is different to the indie version. It's the Kensington edition, so I'm pretty sure I can still get a paperback copy of this that's an indie edition. I just have to look elsewhere for it and check the sizing, because it looks okay on camera, to be fair, when you're there, but here you can see it's like a different texture and shade of black. So it kind of sticks out and the height is slightly off, so that's a little bit disappointing. So might have to return this and see if I can get one that will match my set. But like I said, I've kind of had to double stack some of the books, so I have more books behind the books that are out right now, and I've kind of stopped just like decorating them. I've kind of just like left them how they are, and I just kind of squeeze stuff in where and when I can. And I used to obviously have like a lot of Fairy Loot books facing forward on display here. Had to move some of them here. Kind of just fitting in everything where I can. In terms of the TBR, it is a little bit full. It is full. I kind of took all the books on my shelves that I had that weren't read. If I had like one or two, obviously not my entire Cassandra Clare Shadowhunters shelf, but I've taken some books off the shelves and popped them on here, so the TBR is pretty much full, and half of it are ARCs and books that publishers send me, because sometimes when you're on publishers' PR lists, they won't ask you if you want a copy of a book. If they have your details on file, they'll just send you a book, so it might not always be something that you've heard of or something that you were itching to read or pick up or grab a hold of. It just like rocks up and you go, oh, that's interesting, and then you add it to the cart. So my cart is kind of filled up because of that. So I definitely do want to kind of get up to date with my ARC copies, my proofs of like books that are coming out. Some of these have already come out, and prioritize reading them so that I can get them off my book cart, because they've been on this TBR cart for a while now. Some new additions to it. We have My Blade, Your Back. So I obviously read book one, Your Knife, My Heart first. So we have this. So I might try and pick this up in December so I can read the two of them together back to back while it's still fresh in my mind. But that was fun to read in like a 24-hour readathon or something, where it's just like a fun dark romance that's under 350 pages, and I think it's a duology. So this comes out in December, so it'd be good if I could pick it up in December. I also bought the Hush Hush series. I got these on Vinted, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick them up in December, but I think I'm gonna put them on my TBR for next year, because this is one that I really want to read and see. Going back to the mid and early 2000s book series to read them and see if I can feel something. Like this literally says on the cover, the hottest book of 2010, Sugar magazine. And when I was away in Texas, the girls were talking about this when we went to one of the bookstores. So I definitely want to read that. That's been one of the #1 recommended series for me to pick up. I also did order Evermore, the Immortals series. So that's also on my TBR for next year. I can't really take it out because it's on the back of my TBR, but I've got Dawn of the Firebird that I've seen a lot of good things about and I would like to pick up. I was sent the Stormlight Archive paperback set by the UK publisher. I think they had seen me reading the Mistborn trilogy and said to celebrate the release of Wind and Truth paperback if they can send me the whole set. So I was like, absolutely, because I read these books physically. I don't read them on Kindle, which is kind of crazy considering how huge they are. But I don't know, there's something about reading an epic fantasy series in like the biggest, chunkiest book form. It's just very satisfying. So I really like these covers. I like the set. I think I prefer them to the Mistborn trilogy, but all of the UK editions seem to be kind of white, whereas I know the US covers look very different, and also the mass market paperbacks look different. But book 1 is The Way of Kings, and I have heard incredible things about this, so I think this is my sign to continue on with the Cosmere in the new year in 2026, but I'm not 100% on my Cosmere reading order. I need to double check what I had saved because I know that there's a couple of ways that you can read it. I'm pretty sure this is like the next series for me to pick up in the order, but I think that there's maybe a book or 2 or a standalone that I'm supposed to read after the Mistborn trilogy before jumping into this, so I need to consult my sources, double check that. But we have that and we have nowhere for it to go. So for now, I'm kind of just dealing with piles of books around the place, and that's okay. So now I'm gonna go switch over the laundry, finish up some of the household errands that I have, and I'm definitely gonna be ending off this reset with just like catching up with editing and work. Be spending my Saturday working today, so hopefully that I can have a nice Sunday off tomorrow. But anyways, let's continue on with the reset to-do list. Thing where I'm getting distracted by everything that I'm doing. So I pulled out all the clothes from under my bed in the storage, and I found jumpers that I forgot that I owned and that existed. So that's super exciting. And then I got a delivery at the door for this like snud balaclava thingy, and I thought, oh, let me try it on with my fur jacket because I have this faux fur coat or jacket from New Look in this burgundy color, but I also have a long version, like down to the floor, full length coat, same style but in a chocolate brown. So I got a brown one of these because this is what I'd probably wear it with. And then I've just been walking around the house with this because then the door went again and I had another book arrive and be delivered. So now I'm just walking around the house with like 3 separate different organization tasks happening in different rooms, things that I've half started and haven't finished, and I keep getting distracted, and now I'm wearing this outfit. But anyways, the Half City by Kate Golden came. So this is a proof copy for Kate Golden's new book, and it sounds so exciting. And I have read Sacred Stones trilogy by Kate Golden, and then I've also read If Not For My Baby by Kate Golden. So I do really like Kate Golden's writing, and I think her stories are fun. And this one sounds like it could be my favorite so far, just based off the plot and the premise. So it comes out in February, so I won't read it until in the new year, close to the time. But it says, Viv Abbott is an average 21-year-old girl. She lives in an expensive city where rent is too high, works long hours at a thankless job, and is dating a guy she doesn't even like in the hopes of winning her prickly mother's approval. She also just happens to be a demon hunter. I love demon hunter books. Ever since her father's murder, she's been forced to hunt deviants alone, meaning everyone including her family sees her as an outsider. Until the day she crosses paths with the dangerously alluring demon Reed Graveheart. The reformed deviant tells her of a school for people just like her, Harker Academy for Deviant Defense. If she enrolls, she'll learn to hone her craft, work with other hunters, and never be alone again. But Viv has a deadly secret, one that not even her new friends at Harker can know about. Not when the school might hold the answers to untangling the mystery surrounding Viv's father's death. When strange occurrences begin to plague the students, Viv will have to figure out who she can trust and fast, all while trying to ace her classes and not fall for a demon and make it through her first year at Harker in one piece. How hard could that be? So it comes out on the 19th of February 2026. That might be a fun one to try and read in January, but the artwork on the proof looks really cool. That's so cool. Okay, that's exciting. Okay, I'm gonna add that to my TBR. I've also been reading so many physical books as an attempt to try and like get through my physical TBR, but it is one of those things, like I'll try and condense my TBR and get through it so that I can have more room on there for more books to add to my TBR, not to completely 100% complete my TBR, because then if I don't have a TBR or if the physical TBR is empty, it means we've run out of books. We don't really want that, but I am trying to binge series and get up to date with all the series I'm in the middle of. That's my priority over completing my entire TBR, you know what I mean? So trying to read one series at a time, get through all the book series I'm in the middle of, work my way through my physical TBR by doing that, and then I can read arcs, proofs, you know, fun books, contemporary books, standalones, in between those. I think that's what kind of works best for me, but again, I am a mood reader at the same time. I'm just kind of a walking contradiction. I'm also just realizing that I'm still wearing this and look ridiculous. So I'm gonna take all this off, and then I'm gonna put some of the jumpers away in the wardrobe, might take out some more things, a little bit more reorganizing, and then I'm gonna spend the rest of my day editing. Having a great time here. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of today's reset vlog, because the only thing that I have to do now is just like sit and spend the rest of my day editing. And I know this one was a little bit more chaotic than usual, a little bit all over the place, but I still wanted to make sure that you guys got a reset vlog this month, because we have kept up and done one pretty much every single month this year. So even though life is a little bit busy and crazy at the moment, we're still able to get things done. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, let me know in the comments below if you do a book journal, or if you have a monthly reset routine. What do you do in that? What does that look like? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.